You dial in a massive guitar tone in the room, position your primary microphone on the amp cabinet, throw on your studio headphones, and it sounds huge. The heavy guitar recording you were chasing is right there. But the second you add another microphone to capture that depth, the whole tone completely collapses. The chest-thumping sound just disappears, leaving you with a weak, lifeless audio signal.
In this explainer, we're going to fix the age-old recording problem where adding a second mic destroys your heavy guitar recording instead of making it bigger. We're not doing a long physics lecture today. We're going to quickly diagnose the issue, and then we'll jump straight to a highly usable solution right on the studio floor so you can get back to tracking.
So instead of building a massive wall of sound, the audio signal loses all of its low-end weight. You push both microphone faders up on your audio mixing console expecting a roar, but the tone gets surprisingly thin and hollow. It's like a whisper of the original amp tone. You haven't touched the amp settings, you haven't touched your guitar pedals, but the actual body of the instrument is just gone from your studio monitors.
The technical culprit here is phase cancellation. That's a form of destructive acoustic interference between microphones. It happens simply because the acoustic sound waves pushing out from the amplifier speaker cone reach the separate microphone capsules at slightly different times in your physical recording room.
Think of this physics concept like two people trying to push a heavy wooden door. If they push the door from opposite sides at the exact same time, their physical efforts simply cancel each other out, and the door doesn't move an inch. Well, your audio waveforms are doing the exact same thing to the speaker cone's output.
If you look at an out-of-phase waveform visualization on your computer screen, it's pretty clear why this happens. The positive electrical currents from your primary microphone line up directly with the negative electrical currents from the secondary mic. When the audio mixing console combines these two opposing electrical signals, they destructively interfere. They're effectively erasing the core of your guitar tone before it ever even hits your hard drive.
Now, there's a pervasive studio myth that the classic 3-to-1 distance rule will somehow fix this phase alignment problem on a single guitar speaker cone. You hear the advice constantly. Just move the secondary microphone further back into the room. But applying that specific microphone placement technique to a single amplifier cabinet completely misunderstands what that recording rule is actually meant to do.
It's easy to see why home recordists make this mistake, given how often the rule is repeated. But that rule is strictly designed to reduce acoustic instrument bleed between different sound sources, say a singer and an acoustic guitar being recorded at the same time. It's absolutely not designed to align the phase relationship of multiple microphones pointing at the exact same audio source.
Placing a secondary microphone triple the distance away from the primary mic only drops the background volume bleed by about 9.5 decibels. That reduction in volume does absolutely nothing to solve the core timing offsets causing the destructive acoustic cancellation on your heavy guitar recording. The timing offset is still there, it's just a little bit quieter.
Tell me in the comments if you've ever recorded with two microphones and the sound got worse instead of better.
Let's get into the practical fix. The first and most important step is summing your stereo master output down to mono. When you have your dual guitar mic tracks panned wide left and right in your recording software, that stereo separation completely tricks your brain into thinking the audio is full and wide. Our ears get easily fooled by wide panning. Collapsing your audio monitoring to mono forces those electrical audio signals to interact directly on a single audio channel. Whether you push the mono button right on your physical audio interface or drop a utility plugin on your master bus inside the digital audio workstation, this tactile process lets you hear that destructive phase cancellation clearly and instantly.
Once that audio master output is locked in mono, pay really close attention to the bass frequencies dropping out of the mix, specifically anything below 100 Hz. That missing low-end energy on your audio equalizer is the ultimate red flag for phase issues. Think about what that frequency range actually sounds like on a heavy guitar. It's the tabnet resonance, the heavy chug, the physical thump that hits you in the chest when you stand right in front of the amplifier. If those crucial low frequencies vanish the second you hit the mono button, your microphone timing is misaligned and you need to take action.
The most organic way to realign that acoustic energy is physically adjusting the microphone positioning relative to the guitar amp speaker cone. Your ultimate goal here is to make sure the acoustic sound waves hit both microphone capsules at the exact same physical time. A great studio workflow for this is to walk out into the live tracking room and look directly at the microphone capsules side by side relative to the speaker cone. When they're aligned and the sound arrives simultaneously, they push the electrical current in the same direction, which allows the dual audio signals to work together harmoniously.
This process requires making minuscule physical movements with the microphone hardware out on the studio floor. We're talking about moving the microphone stand by tiny fractions, just shifting the capsule until you find the exact physical sweet spot in front of the speaker cone. A highly effective practical tip is to wear closed-back isolation headphones while you're moving the stand. Or, better yet, have a friend move the microphone hardware while you sit in the sweet spot at the mixing desk. You are listening for the exact moment those low frequencies suddenly bloom and return to your studio monitors, and the overall instrument tone will noticeably and immediately thicken up.
Sometimes physically moving the microphone stand just isn't enough, or the audio cancellation is so extreme that you can't risk bumping a primary microphone that is already perfectly dialed in. You might even be mixing a session that somebody else recorded, leaving you no option to move hardware. The fastest console solution for severe audio cancellation is hitting the phase flip or polarity reverse button located right on your microphone preamplifier or inside your digital audio workstation channel strip.
Looking at this waveform chart, you can clearly see how inverting the audio signal solves the problem on a fundamental level. By flipping the polarity, you align the amplitude peaks and troughs so that two separate audio tracks reinforce each other constructively, instead of fighting each other inside the audio mixer. There is a deep satisfaction in hitting that single button on your console and instantly hearing a weak, hollow guitar tone aggressively thicken up and roar back to life through your studio monitors. Engaging this single button simply flips the electrical polarity of the audio signal by exactly 180 degrees. It serves as a rapid, immediate cure for recording situations where the microphones or audio cables are accidentally wired in opposite electrical polarity. This makes it an absolute lifesaver for home recordists. It instantly restores your heavy amplifier tone without requiring you to tear down your physical recording setup or even walk back into the tracking room. After trusting your ears to find the sweet spot, you should visually verify the fix inside your digital audio workstation. Zoom way in on the timeline grid to look closely at the recorded audio waveform. You're checking to ensure the initial transient of a recorded musical note, that first sharp audio peak of the guitar attack, moves in the exact same upward or downward direction on both microphone tracks. By magnifying the grid, you can guarantee that the audio transients align perfectly, confirming that your microphones are actively working together to build a massive guitar tone.
This brings up an interesting choice for your recording workflow. Should you always chase a mathematically perfect phase alignment between your audio tracks? Or is leaving a slight comb filtering phase mismatch actually a brilliant creative equalization choice for crafting a unique guitar tone?